And I'm actually mostly okay with the rest of the game.
Some vacation this turned out to be.
Because Graham finally starts taking things seriously. Finally.
Maybe the Sphinx had put him under a spell.
No.
If it didn't fit so well with how they'd written him in other games.
Right, and if he wasn't such a D-bag before they got here.
Right.
This carving room held some pretty dark secrets.
Now you're realizing that the weird animated things that look like frozen people, in fact, are what they say they are. And now it's like something out of Return to Oz or something.
Ooh.
I didn't want to know where
have
all
those
those
ruby
ice blocks
slippers.
came from. If I squinted, it almost looked like an avocado.
What? Does this look like an avocado if you squint?
See, speaking of this one and the first game in this series, because when we played the first game, I was pretty disappointed actually.
Yeah.
Because I was like, when I heard the new King's Quest had come out, I was like, oh cool, maybe they've gotten past all the, you know, just focusing so much on puns and weird, goofy humor.
Right.
But no, they did even more of that.
Right, they doubled down on the terrible parts.
Yeah, so I just like,
This is actually kind of
Right?
important.
Where's my father?
Okay. I
Oh,
won't say anything
Mr.
for a second.
Majesty, you've beat him here by a mile. He's trapped in a puzzle and can't figure out the solution.
Do you notice the motif right there?
Stop!
He stopped in a what now?
No, the music.
No, I didn't. No.
Okay.
The sound's actually pretty low in my headset.
Do you want me to turn it up a little bit?
Like, I barely heard the Sphinx's
I'll turn it up
lines.
slightly.
That's great work,
There, that's perfect. Okay.
Gwydion.
Thanks.
He called him Gwydion.
It's actually been a while since I've been called that. I kind of miss it.
That name does suit you. Now, just a
figured
few
it out
more
now?
puzzles, and you will solve the labyrinth.
This
Your family
cat-like
is anxiously
creature.
waiting for you at the top of that tower.
I bet you she is
Make it
Graham's
out of this!
father.
Yes, you figured out the plot
I
twist.
need a hint on this one.
I'll call the 900
He's no
number.
good at puzzles.
Think the Shining Star he's no good at
That
puzzles.
should do it.
That was actually impressive.
Sir Watts was thinking it was like
Brilliant. I just
Narnia's,
wish your
like the White
father could
Witch.
be here to celebrate your win.
You know, but look at this. Look at how
He
great
really appreciates talent
design of a
for exactly
character and
like
villain
his
this
own.
is.
Mm-hmm.
I, however,
And how
love
great this,
watching your
like the
clever
layout of this
magic
castle has been and everything.
encourage
Yeah.
you
And
to
even
use
Isabella,
it
her
in
design
this
was really
last
good.
puzzle.
Like, if you get rid of all the
That's not true!
garbage humor,
Well, it would be
this
a
would
Se-
make a really great game.
It wouldn't be a Sierra game if the art team wasn't
prove
like
it to you?
light years ahead of everybody else.
Right, right.
That's
My
always been the
son
case with
again.
Sierra games.
I was wrong
Especially King's
for
Quest.
expecting him to carry out
See,
my
now he's
orders.
finally like figuring it out.
I needed to show him. that
I've got a
I
problem
loved him
with this
for who
too.
he is and who
But
he
I'll
wants
explain
to
it when we
become.
get to a posy point.
If only I
Ooh, a
could
posy
just snap and share the unconditional.
Actually, maybe this is posy point. Okay, I don't want to talk over this point because it's important to the plot. But here's the thing. So this is like the moment when Graham's like, "Oh, I've been wrong, trying to force Alexander to be whatever. Now I will treat him like he's better." Right? This is like where he has a change of heart. Here's the problem with that.
Okay.
Okay? It doesn't come about because of anything that Alexander has done or anything that Graham has done. It's come about because he's like, "Oh no, I might lose him again."
So he just wants a son. If the idea of having a son.
Partly that, and also partly, I mean, the resolution, I guess it's kind of believable, but it doesn't feel like it's earned with the story because he's not like, "Oh, Alexander's actually helped me." It's, "Oh, I've been a terrible father," not because I've realized that I've been a terrible father, but because I'm trapped. And Alexander might get trapped too. So, change of heart doesn't really lead, the dots don't connect there.
So plot driven.
So
I've
it's-
changed because I have to change for this moment because it's the moment where
Because this-
people have to change.
Right, this is the climax, so I've got to change now, because if I don't, then this plot doesn't make sense. But it still doesn't make sense. It's a voodoo shark. Look it up on TV Tropes.
Love burning inside my heart.
Unconditional love? That is not describing Graham at all.
I needed to
More like
snap
unconditional
I'd never
dumb.
snapped
Am
before.
I right?
But now
I
he...
needed to get
And so now
fired
he
up.
starts using Alexander's magic, because now it's okay.
Fireball.
Because it's the only way he can get out of this. It's not even like... do a fireball. And burning hands!
Yeah, it's fireable.
Oh, right.
Dad? Was that you?
The flames had cleared up the ice spell, but that was hardly on my mind at that moment.
Son, I love you. Just the way you are.
For some reason now I've realized this. I guess.
I wouldn't make any sudden moves if I were you.
I could say the same for you.
Here we go.
Do you think your tiny human arrow will pierce my skin?
Oh, it's not your hide I'm aiming for.
It's your
Well
junk.
then, take your move.
Nope.
Shoot her in the eye.
No, it's just letting me target the mouth.
I like that animation. Because it was a funny expression on the
Morons! Tiny arrows will never defeat the divine intellect of the Sphinx. I thought you were a man of the mind, Graham.
He's King Graham the Brave.
Have you been paying attention this whole time? Definitely not a man of the mind.
Trust me, the game
Man on the moon, maybe.
Now he's serious about his wife and daughter. Because now we're at the climax.
Family now. Thanks for the entertainment.
And this ominous evil tower is actually evil? What a shock.
Did you find anything particularly strange about that overgrown kitty?
You mean besides the fact that it talks, thinks itself pretty clever, and is incredibly manipulative?
Has giant horns.
That's true. But luckily, the painting of plot contrivance is right there.
From this pile of cosmolotion.
So there you go.
It would
The
appear
the
so.
Sphinx is
It would
Mananan.
be irresponsible for us to leave this pile of potions here.
Because,
like
you know,
this.
cat person.
Yeah,
I think you need to set it ablaze.
Are you sure?
You keep doing.
Why
you,
did it have a
Alexander.
girl's
Had to
voice?
make this cheesy.
Now I'm okay with you using your fire magic because
Have
an
to find
arrow
the girls
wouldn't
before
work.
The Ice Queen does.
Find who?
Oh look, they were just off
Take a
camera the
shining
whole
star
Oh
time.
my
I could
goodness.
say the same for you.
Yep.
The Sphinx told us that you were both trapped at the top of that tower.
And she still doesn't have a consistent accent.
Don't you
Hey,
mean
did you
to
get saved from the
Nope.
Sphinx?
The
I got
Sphinx is
saved
mad.
from the Sphinx. I'll tell you all about. No, that's okay,
And the
Rosella.
Ice Queen.
I'm tired of listening
Yes,
to you.
I suspect.
But I've
said-
got lots of interesting things to say.
I've said 2
I knew for
lines.
certain when I found this.
Also, it's kind of cool. Like Nice is remembering V because they were trapped together.
The Casket of Ancient Winters?
No, it's a
need
puzzle
to get
box
out
from
of
the
here
other
before we
game.
all
Oh,
get
I thought it was
iced.
the Casket of
I'm
Ancient
not
Winters.
being
Looks like you
naughty.
haven't been paying
The only way
attention.
out is
It's like
back
I've been
through the
watching too many
labyrinth.
Marvel movies.
Let's solve it together this time.
Cool, blimey. Her accent's worse than mine.
Way out of that
That's
labyrinth,
not true.
We decided to pair up based on who.
Okay, so now here's the only point in the game where Rosella is relevant.
Well, this looks
Other than the
impossible and
staring
dangerous.
contest.
I hope we make it out alive.
Nonsense. You're just saying that because no one ever has.
More Princess Bride rips.
I was like, I know that line.
After being tormented about Alexander for 18 years, it was about time I gave my daughter the full attention she deserved.
What does that even mean?
Because he's been so focused on his son, I guess.
She's the one who had staring contest. This puzzle is actually kind of interesting because you're controlling the
Watch what I'm
both,
doing.
or you're controlling Graham actually, and then so if you move in a direction that Rosella can't go, then you have to
Dad,
Oh, I see.
remember that
Kind
one
of
time
backtrack.
we set up that Yeti on a blind date?
give him a pie.
What about it?
Oh, nothing. No, I just like to remember it.
What does that even mean?
Comical line!
Oh.
Serious moment. Comical line!
Right.
In case anybody's curious, yes, I do still have some appetizers stashed in one of my pockets. Wish I had my spiky sword of fire.
Wish I had my spiky sword of fire. Okay, I'm trying to figure out exactly how we're going to do this. I think. Okay. There we go. I think. Yeah, there we go. We got it. Sorry, just solving a puzzle. What, didn't have a lot of commentary there.
That's fine, I was drawn.
Okay. Anyway,
Why didn't you hand down the crown to Aunt Rosella?
She was always off on her own
Girls are
adventures with
useless.
oh, Edgar's
Then
in this
she
continuity
had
now.
Who?
Even though King's
Much
Quest
more
4 didn't have
interested
Edgar.
in training
Remember from
him
King's Quest 4 and
to
7?
be king.
He got turned into the
Looks like
troll
Oh,
king.
yeah.
Designed us into a puzzle death trap.
Wait,
Choose
where
our
did he show up?
strategy.
He's here?
I'll go down
No,
to the
he
vault.
just got
You
mentioned.
better keep me safe.
He's not in this game. Neither is Cosima.
The ice guards.
It doesn't make sense for him to be in the game because Secrets 4
Cosima.
never happened. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's how I always said it in the game, too.
Never moved shields. I needed to
Okay, so
navigate
now remember that
east
stupid
to
Knights game at the end of the
door
first
to
chapter?
Yeah.
Now we're playing that again. But
Oh,
with,
good. It's the end of Harry Potter 1.
with a purple line. Yeah, once again.
You're going to
With
have
purple
to
line
guide
in
me.
it.
I can't see the whole board.
Okay, so here's something else. It's still a matter of life and death, right?
Right.
But so and she could get killed by this thing, and so she's like, "Guide me, Graham. I can't see the whole board," which is fine. So we have to do this puzzle. I've got to figure this out. But there are things that happen in this game that drive me crazy, and I mean this game, like this specific puzzle, because there are obviously things that happen in this game that drive me crazy.
Right.
So I'm just going to,
Oh, it's the arrows.
yeah, remember they move and they bounce off the shield, and then if you get shot, then you're in. That's the end. Because they just really love this weird puzzle. for some
Wrong move. It's all over.
reason. Yes,
Did
right.
you remember to send that thank you letter to my sister?
I did.
This is my incredulous face.
I remembered you told me. I just didn't send it.
You have a photographic memory. Why does this keep happening?
Why are you talking about this in the middle of this game?
What was her even point?
Her point was, hey, let's have a traditional, like, stupid married couples argument because we're married.
What brought it on? Nothing?
Nothing! Literally nothing!
What was it even about? Doing the chores, like the laundry or something?
Yeah, like, there was a letter he was supposed to send and he just hasn't got around to it yet, and she's like, this is my incredulous face! And you just...
Incredible.
I suppose now's as good a time as any to tell you.
Are you ready for this?
Spill it.
Your Cedric the Owl mug didn't fall
Ah,
off the shelf.
Cedric!
I threw it away.
What? I love that mug.
No, you didn't.
Well, it had mold in it.
Ooh, don't throw it away,
The
Graham.
real Cedric had pooped in it.
By the way, I threw away your butt. Does anybody take this game seriously?
You do, apparently.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I really, like... I don't know if it's... I shouldn't...
We could have played Curse of Monkey Island.
We could have played Metroid Prime. Oh, wait, we did.
But you don't want to play good games. There's not as much to make fun of or talk about.
That's true. Well, I hope this makes for an entertaining stream. All this ranting and raving about...
No, it's not about paint
Can
chips, so it's okay.
we find a sled for 4 when we're out of here?
How about a snowball war?
Can we throw pies at Yetis?
What about a game of tic-tacs?
Random
Have you
things.
ever tried snowflake salsa?
I have, and it's tasty. Want to build
a
big
snowman?
Snow corns?
Yeah.
Oh, I love our little inside jokes.
I'm about to die.
See, okay, it's this kind of stuff that I just had a conversation with on Facebook about, especially
Not the
Moana.
appropriate time. She's even just sorry. She even just said, "Sorry, not the appropriate time."
Right.
Ah!
Because she has to, so they have a reason to cut back, right? No, but I had a conversation with people about Moana and to some extent Frozen. Not about the entire movies, but about
Right.
well, parts of the movies. Yes, okay, so I did talk about the movies, but specifically the characters of Hey Hey the chicken and
Right.
Olaf.
Okay.
It's like these characters exist to wave their hands in front of your screen so the little kids like them. They're
Right.
not good characters.
crap. I just screwed up.
You're dead.
Oh, look.
Trying to trick me.
My queen died. Isn't it hilarious? Anyway, now I gotta start over. Start talking
Okay,
about
they're
Moana.
not good characters. Most of their dialogue and action is stupid, especially Hey Hey. It's one of the dumbest characters I've ever seen. Like, dumb in that it's stupid that they put it in there, and dumb that the character is actually brain damaged. And you're sitting there supposed to laugh at a character that is brain damaged.
Right.
I'm like, this character does nothing. So brain damaged, in fact, that they lock it in a boat, in a basket, so that they don't have to deal with it. That is how bad this character is, that the other characters are like,
Crap.
what is this thing doing here?
I just lost it.
Okay? You know, its steal is that
Oh, no, I
it eats
didn't.
rocks for no reason.
Okay.
Okay. And it's almost completely useless. Okay, Olaf is slightly more useless because it actually teaches one of the characters an important principle
You mean
about
useful?
love. Useful. It's more useful.
Right.
It's got a slightly more use because it teaches a character about love.
Okay.
Okay? But still, most of it, his presence is to wave its arms in front of the camera saying, "Hey, I'm here! Kids, in case you weren't watching this movie, there's things happening." You know?
It's like the troll in Central Park arguments. If you watch that Nostalgia Critic, where the whole time he's like, this movie is just jingling your keys in front of your 2-year-old.
Exactly. And that's the same thing. I'm like, okay, I understand why. And people are like, oh, it's kids, right? And I'm like, I understand why they did it, okay? I don't like it.
It doesn't make it any better.
Not just because I'm an adult. When I was a kid, I loved movies that were slightly more intelligent. Like, okay, I kept using the analogy of, let's look at Aladdin. Okay, one of the best movies they've ever made. Funny side characters that were smart and useful. Abu and the carpet. Useful.
Well, and the genie.
And the genie. But the genie's more of a main character, right? But I guess you could liken him to a magical character like Olaf, too. Smart, funny, useful, intelligent, you know? Not just, look at how stupid I am and that I fall apart and all the slapstick I'm doing.
Right.
And how much I get in the way of the plot. Okay.
Right.
And they don't, you know, and all those other characters that I mentioned, the good characters, felt part of the world, you know, like they, you know, like they were supposed to be in that world, not just something that's tacked on.
Right.
And you could argue, you know, Olaf's made out of snow, of course, you know, whatever, but.
Well, and she was like the snowman from the beginning that they built, and so it
Well, yeah,
represented
he was a
something.
snowman. Okay, granted. You
And
know,
he represented something more than he was a good character.
okay, felt like a good part of the world. I guess I could add that too, you know.
Right.
But those kind of characters just feel like Jar Jar Binks to me. They're there to make kids laugh.
Right.
They're useless. I mean, and a lot of times they accidentally save the day. You know, like Jar Jar. Where he accidentally beats a clone army because he's an idiot.
Right.
You know, or this character, Hey, the chicken, accidentally saves the day because he loves eating rocks and they're going after this magic rock. And so he happens to eat it because he's an idiot.
Right.
And that saves it from being stolen by the bad guys because they save him. He doesn't save himself. They save him, and he happens to have the rock in his stomach, which they have to regurgitate out of him.
I haven't actually watched Moana yet.
Okay. Well, I'm not giving away the
the
main plot. Just one of the most inane characters I've ever seen in any movie.
Right.
Okay. And some people are like, I love him because he's stupid. And I'm like, well, you and I differ.
Well,
I hate him because he's stupid.
That's because you're stupid, hypothetical person.
Well, I'm with these arguments, I tried to not make any ad hominem stuff, you know? I'm just like, let's examine what type of character, and you could... Mostly I was trying to say, somebody else posted, I don't like this movie, and here's the reasons I don't like it. And people are like, well, you're looking too much into it. I'm like, no, he's not. Because he's a writer and a filmmaker, and he wants to make interesting characters.
I'm almost done with this puzzle, but I know your basic gist is that basically every character in this game is that character.
Not just the characters, but what they do and
the
say.
attitudes.
Yeah. Here we are, it's something interesting that is interesting on its own. But they have to cut away and say, kids aren't paying enough attention. This has been 2 minutes.
I know.
Let's have them say something inane.
I don't actually. I know I should watch Wano. I'll watch it eventually.
It's a fairly good movie. It's fun. It's not.
It's
not a perfect film, but there's things I like and dislike about it. Go ahead. Back to this film.
It's good Pocahontas.
Or whatever.
Would you kind?
Here's the climax.
Of course, friend. Everybody freeze!
Where they finally start treating the plot with the gravitas that they should.
Bravo, lads.
I command you to release us now, Sphinx. All of us.
If it was all lighthearted, I wouldn't have such
bones are
an
thicker
issue.
than this brittle ice.
But this is really
dear.
serious.
I think you meant release us, Mananan.
No, that's only what his slaves call him. Let us go, Manny. Your cover's blown.
Oh, that's adorable. Your new family figured out my greatest puzzle.
It's because he left that painting in the courtyard that we can clearly look at.
It took you long enough, morons. That accent is not the easiest on the vocal cords.
Ooh, that should be a tagline for this channel.
And you, William. What a disappointment
Rachel
you
Voice.
turned out to be. I don't know what I was expecting. disappointments run in your bloodline.
Changing your voice to sound like a
You were
woman really
supposed to
ain't...
restore
I guess it's an accent.
Daventry from
Yeah.
the cesspit it's become.
Of course it is, God blimey!
Your little cat spell was just a minor setback. You should have known. I have plenty of other slate friends with magical abilities.
Oh, look, she's being manipulated by Manny.
Manny faces.
Your reckless behavior leaves me no other option.
Ugh,
but to
rotating's
freeze
making me dizzy.
out you and your entire lineage. It's time to start a new
Another
legacy.
slight retcon of the
Enough,
old
Manny.
games, but
Your abuse ends now. You took away my life, my joy, and my worth.
uh-huh.
And when I left, I chose not to be your slave anymore, to move on and find my own happiness, my own life. Now, I know that destroying you won't bring back my childhood. But if it will save another innocent child, then I will melt the fur right off your face.
Do
How-
not talk to my best friend that way.
Sorry.
Ah! I
Ah.
think I'm ambidextrous.
All right, Iceman. This reminds me of X-Men 3, when Pyro and Iceman face off.
Right. Well, they wrote Alexander perfectly. It's just everybody else that sucks.
See, I know.
Well, because
my
he's the
friend
only one who's
is
gone
mad.
through anything,
Stop this.
no,
We can
Yeah,
fight this
yeah.
cold together.
like,
Don't
legitimate.
Don't listen to her.
You didn't have to go through all these goofy things that made the other people know who they are, like stupid
not
races
your
or
Right.
Friends
weird
don't
night
abandon
contests,
each other.
or
Yeah.
you know, being locked in a tower with
chocolate
and
chip
ha-
I knew
pancakes.
what was
Yeah.
happening to you. I would rush to be by your side.
No, he was a slave for 18 years.
And this is the other
What
thing.
is wrong with you people? He says as he comes into a family of goofballs.
Well,
The
and,
other girl was raised a princess and wasn't actually
right.
entrapped by a dragon.
And not to interrupt, but this scene actually is kind of cool with Nice trying to remember, trying to get V to remember who she is. Like, I like that because it means Valenice is more than just the queen or the
Don't fall
mother.
for her tricks.
Like, I like that
Your
aspect that they're
Majesty,
bringing back
listen
with
to
her.
me. Your real
Something that the old
friend.
series never did with
The one who
Valenice.
gave you your friendship.
Like, give her any
crown.
sort of characterization.
Yeah.
Should I have given it
Personality.
to someone
Yeah.
else? I could always crown another
And that's
queen,
more of a
you
side
know.
effect of Chapter 3 than really this chapter, which is why Chapter 3 is my favorite.
Niece,
Oh, they just did like a
What
thing
have
of
I
Girl in the
done?
Tower.
Yeah. Yeah.
all is forgiven.
Motif.
Come here.
A light motif, if you will.
And look, and now they're having a moment.
Sorry, I like that. Just at the anime. Oh.
Yeah, and then she's dead.
She's the China doll from Great and Powerful Oz.
Uh-huh.
Burn his hide.
No, Mom. I've got
Yikes.
a better idea.
They just murdered her.
Yep.
This again?
Dad,
Yeah.
guide my
There's a
shot.
lot of murder in this kids game with the chocolate chip pancakes.
Take your best shot.
Anyway, that was moving
My
on its own.
name
I just clicked.
is Alexander.
Which is the same like when he. That's the one they used in the AGD remake when he turned a banana into a cat the first time.
What, my name is Alexander?
My name is Alexander.
Looks like you
instead
missed
of
the
Gwydion.
mark. Again?
Actually, that shot was just feline.
Ow!
Even Graham's like,
Eh.
needs some
That'd
work.
be funny if Grant was just like, eh.
See, that would have been an intelligent joke.
Right. Well, he had a lot of that cat cookie. I thought he melted most of it in porridge.
Oh, no.
I'm already kind of a cat. Why is this working?
Did you?
Wait for it.
And now King's Quest V can happen.
Curse you!
Not that it will.
imbeciles.
Is that my voice? Is that my voice?
I love how he's got a comb over too. It's kind of random, but there it is.
His face kind of looks more like a coyote than a,
Now,
Yeah.
hold on 1 second.
like the space coyote from The Simpsons.
Hairball.
Ah, forget it.
See, now it's okay. Like this tone shift was okay because the danger is over. It's okay to have a. Never mind. Danger was over, but then that happened.